Hello, this is a demo on the ASUS tablet. Mine happens to be the Memo. It's the 10.1 inch with HD ports on it. And what I've found on what I've had problem with mine is I've sent the first time I had the problem, it's still under warranty, but it's just a big hassle to send it in for the simple fix that it is. And what the problem is, the power button gets stuck down right here, and when you push on it, you don't feel that popping sensation it has to it that actually feels like you're operating the switch. And what will happen is it'll be stuck down, and then the tablet won't do anything from this control right here. You'll have no control over it or anything. And the problem is when you lose power, you can't turn it back on. You can charge it up until a certain point. You can close your lid on your cover, on your case, and it'll come on and work. But if your battery goes dead, then you've got to actually do something about it, because you can't get it to come on. For a while you can push that real hard, but it's a really kind of a tough thing. And the reason why I'm showing you this, because when it goes down, you can't retrieve your data from the unit for setup, and it has may have all your personal information in on it. It may have some, and you may have your passwords to your website. So once they get it back up and running, whoever's working on it, I'm sure they're honest people, but they have access to all that. You may have access to your photos and everything that you may have on there, any personal information. So I recommend, before sending it in for this problem right here, as simple as it is to fix, is to go ahead and fix it yourself. At least get it up and running, and then that way you can actually reset it before you send it off, and you don't have to worry about anything being compromised. And the simple thing to do is we're going to do it with two things. I'm going to use it with the X-Acto knife. It has a very small part of it. The biggest tool is going to be a guitar pick. This one it's about a medium gauge. I think this is about 78 millimeter guitar pick. And when you do this, you want to do it on a cloth surface right here, so you don't scratch it moving around, because you're going to get a little rough with it, but just don't get enough to damage anything. So what I'm going to do first here, I want to separate this back case from the actual screen. Everything's attached to the screen, so when you separate the case, there's anything to worry about falling out or ripping loose or anything like that. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take this guitar pick, and let me go from this angle right here. I'm going to work it a little backwards. As you see, I can get it put right down in here. I'm just going to slide this along, and you're going to hear it pop, and you pop, pop, and you're actually separating the case away from the screen. And you can go around the corners, may not need to, but just get it back in here, and just go around like this. And once you get started, it may be easier just to kind of work your way around. Go around the corner and just kind of pop. You can hear it popping. Just be gentle when you take it out. I got one more side right here to go around, and it may just pop out as it is. We pull this out like this. Now, there's something I want to say before you even do this. My first time, on the side over here, there's a SD card slot, and mine did have an SD card in it right there. And if you have one, definitely pull it out, because as you come across it with the pick, I actually sliced mine in half and just damaged it, and it's not usable anymore. But anyways, as we go back to the video, I take this apart. And as you can see, you've got your speakers right here. Don't touch those. Don't push on them or anything like that. Don't wander around doing stuff that you shouldn't be doing. What we're going to do here first is I'm going to disconnect the battery, because like right now, if you short something out, you have power inside there. It's in standby, but it's on. The best thing to do is take your fingernail and just pull this plug out right here. This is attached to your battery. This right here. And now you've kind of shut everything off, so it's going to minimize any damage. Right here is the actual power switch, and I'll get a close-up in that in just a minute or show you. But if you push on it, you'll be able to feel that it's still working fine. Use your fingernail, and you'll feel it kind of pop, 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 like it's working fine. Now, what you can do before you unplug the battery, I'll just show you right here. I'll plug it back in. Mine wouldn't come on before, and now that I've energized the battery here, and I'm holding on the power button just like I normally would, you'll see the startup screen starting to come up, and yeah, it'll come on, it'll run and work fine for you. Let's go back to disconnecting the battery and back to the switch issue right here. Now, say your switch were to be bad, and you could probably go on eBay or someplace and just look and order this little switch assembly. There's the switch and there's the assembly, and the way it actually disconnects is this little white latch pulls up, and then the little copper trace ribbon cable pulls out that way. Put it back in and put your latch back down. Be careful not to break that off, but you don't need to do that in this video because the switch is good. Mainly, and I've got this disconnected. Now, I want to set this aside for a minute and show you where the problem is. You really can't see it good in the video, but right here is the switch. As you can see right here, that's the outside of it, and this is what bounces back and forth and actually activates the switch. Well, there may have been something here to begin with, but I put something in between it which makes closes the gap between the two and gives it a little spring. And I was trying to think of what I could find, but as I was looking at this video here, I noticed, at this inside here, I was looking at this right here, and I found there's this little neoprene rubber right here, and it's got adhesive on the other side. And what it does, it really just kind of isolates the back and helps push down on, I believe right here on the, it bumps up again, just rest right here. So it's really cutting a little bit off wasn't going to hurt. So what I did is, right here on the back, on this little rubber, I cut just a small little piece. You don't want anything very big. And I made sure I'd scraped up the adhesive there off the bottom of it. And I went over here and I put this right in the center of this little switch right here so it'd stick to it. And it's just the size of a pinhead, so you want to overdo it, but you want to make sure it's going to line up right with the switch. So that being said, that's all you need the X-Acto knife for. So you put that aside, and what we're going to do here, we're going to plug this power back into the tablet. Not to damage the wires there, just be very gentle and make sure you come in it, push it in there. If it doesn't want to go in, something's not right, so just make sure it goes in smoothly. Okay, we're going to come over here, we're going to test this right quick just before we put it all back together, because we saw it working earlier. But I'm going to push down on this with my fingernails, it seems to be better. I'm going to start the power up, and I should see the ASUS, there it goes, coming up. Now, we're going to finish putting it together. I've got the camera up here on the tablet, and remember, be careful not to touch anything there. I'm going to put this back on, real simple. Just pop, 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 pop. You can go on around it and kind of flip it back over here and just make sure that everything's good. And now, we're going to watch it come up. And it's going to boot up. And again, like I say, the main thing is the hassle you got to go with to actually send it in and get it looked at. And if this will take care of it, it's a whole lot easier just to do this. I use mine in the field for service work, and I've got to have it all the time. And I just can't really do without it for that long. And so here we go. And I'm going to hold the power button, and it says power off. And it's going to ask me if I want to shut it down, and there you go. It works just fine. The button just has, you can feel the little spring to it. It feels like it from day one. It feels really good. And again, as I was trying to mention is, just the hassle of sending it in, pulling your data back off, and then getting it back and reconfiguring everything. It's just a big hassle for about a 15-minute job, and you save yourself shipping and everything, and a whole lot of trouble, a lot of time. But I just thought I'd throw this out at you because it really helped me out. Thank you.